Ian, Christmas can be a lonely time as it is, and now thousands are living under restrictions. What are your main concerns?
Well, it's a very challenging time, as you've just said. And so it's challenging normally, and particularly for those who are more isolated or disconnected or in particular troubles. This year, obviously, has been a very challenging year, and now with restrictions on travel, particularly here in New South Wales, that can make it more difficult, particularly for those who are on their own, particularly those separated, the elderly, those who've got other illnesses, those who can't be with the ones they love this Christmas.
It was harsh news, I suppose, in the last few weeks as borders were shut to Sydney residents. Those who are now not spending time with their families and friends who are in other states and are struggling, what's your advice to them?
Well, we're lucky to have the telecommunication systems we now have. So we've all got to go out of our way, really, to stay connected, despite the border closures, despite the restrictions on movement. So really encourage people to be in contact frequently, and really to those people who you may have otherwise forgotten about, people who are on their own, people who are more isolated, people who don't make the call themselves. This Christmas, make a call to those people. Make sure that you include those who would otherwise get left out.
Do you think we should be making those calls even more now it's this time of year than we normally would?
Absolutely. You know, this has been a really tough year. People have been separated. They often haven't been able to travel interstate and see people they'd normally see, friends, families, relatives. You know, normally a very relaxing time of year in Australia. So this year in particular, make those calls. Reach out, not just to family and friends, but to other people, particularly the people you know who might be on their own, who might be more isolated, who might be doing tough times, who may be facing real challenges next year in employment. You know, those people who've been in hospitality, in tourism, in education, young people in particular who are facing more uncertainty, older people who've been more isolated than ever. This year, at a community level, we all need to make considerably more effort so that we all get through it together.
Do you have any other tips apart from checking in on one another in a way? How can we best support each other and the community around us?
Well, I think it's that sense of community that really matters. There's a tendency to fall back into your own family and just count the people you're directly related to and where they are. But, you know, it's a time of year when we normally catch up with a wider circle of friends. You know, people in your apartment block, people next door, people part of your local community. And if you are forced, in reality, to stay home more this Christmas, reach out to those people more where you can make contact. So while families is traditionally the focus in Christmas, is also a tremendously important community time. So, you know, it's a good time for those people who are close and actually improving your relationships with them. Just making everyone feel part of a real Australian community, not just the family you belong to.
And Ian, just finally, what's your advice to anyone who may be watching this and is struggling, is really feeling the impact of this huge year, 2020, and now they're in the holiday period? They can reach out to others. Is there any other tips you'd give to them?
For those who are really struggling and do need to connect, we are lucky in Australia to have a range of helplines and support services, and we're really lucky with the charities that we have and those groups. And those groups are going out of their way this Christmas to stay in contact despite those particular border restrictions. So if you're feeling isolated, still join in. Still join in with those events that you can. And for the rest of us who can reach out to those in trouble, we need to take the trouble to reach out.
Great advice. Professor Ian Hickie, thank you so much for your time. Merry Christmas.
Thank you, and Merry Christmas to you.